My name is Emma. I am 35 years old. I live in a small town with my 2 children. But before I tell you about where I am today, let me take you back to where my story began. Many years ago, my life was full of peace and happiness. I had everything a woman could hope for: a loving husband, a warm home, and 2 beautiful children. My days were simple but joyful. I would wake up early, prepare breakfast, and watch the morning sun shine through the kitchen window. Life felt safe, like a warm blanket around me. I met my husband Peter when I was very young. I was just finishing school at that time. Peter was older than me, but he was gentle, wise, and kind. He had soft brown eyes and a calm voice. He never rushed things. He listened when I spoke. He supported my dreams, even when they were small. Peter had a good job. He managed our family's small business, and he was very good at it. He was also the kind of man who always helped others. Whether it was a neighbor needing help with repairs or a friend going through hard times, Peter was always there. People respected him, and I loved him deeply. When I finished school, Peter asked me to marry him. I was so happy. We had a big wedding in the town church. I still remember the sound of the music, the flowers, the way my heart was beating fast when I walked down the aisle. I wore a white dress with lace on the sleeves. Peter looked handsome in his black suit. He smiled at me with love, and I felt like the luckiest woman in the world. Everyone was happy for us. That day felt like a dream. After we got married, we moved into a small but cozy house. We painted the walls together, bought secondhand furniture, and made the place our own. We laughed a lot. We cooked dinner together and danced in the living room when our favorite song came on the radio. A few years later, our family grew. We were blessed with 2 wonderful children. Our son Jake was born first. He had Peter's smile and my eyes. 2 years later, our daughter Lily arrived. She was tiny but full of energy. From the moment they were born, Jake and Lily became the center of my world. They brought so much joy to our lives. Peter was an amazing father. He played with the kids, read them bedtime stories, and helped with schoolwork. He also helped me with my dreams. He always said, "Emma, you should learn everything about our business. One day, it will be yours too." I didn't think much about it at the time, but I listened to him. I took notes, asked questions, and started learning. Those years were the golden years of my life. We had our problems, of course, like every family, but our love and trust kept us strong. Every night, we sat together at dinner, shared stories, laughed at the kids' jokes, and held each other close. I thought it would always be like that. I believed nothing would ever change. I was happy, truly happy. But life doesn't always stay the same. Sometimes it changes when you least expect it, and that change was about to come. Life can feel perfect one moment, and then everything changes in the blink of an eye. That's what happened to me. Peter and I were living a happy life with our children, Jake and Lily. He was not just my husband. He was my best friend, my guide, and the love of my life. We laughed together, worked together, and raised our kids with love and care. I believed our journey would go on forever. But one day, everything began to change. It started with something small. One morning, Peter said, "I don't feel well." His voice was calm, but I could see a strange look in his eyes. I asked him if he wanted to rest or see a doctor. He shook his head and smiled. "It's just my heart, Emma. I'll be fine." He didn't want me to worry. That was Peter, always strong for everyone else. Soon after that, we had a big dinner at our house. It was a celebration. Peter had just closed an important business deal, and we invited some close friends to celebrate with us. That evening was full of laughter, music, and joy. Peter looked happy. He joked with our friends, helped me serve food, and even danced a little with Lily in the living room. But as the night went on, I noticed something. His face started turning red, and he looked tired. He sat down quietly and whispered to me, "I feel hot." I placed my hand on his forehead. It was warm, and I felt a wave of fear wash over me. That night, after everyone left, Peter went to bed early. I checked on him every few minutes. I brought him water, helped him lie down comfortably, and kissed his forehead. "Get some rest," I whispered. He smiled weakly. But later that night, something terrible happened. I woke up to a strange sound. It was Peter, breathing heavily and holding his chest. "Emma," he said, trying to speak, but his voice was weak. I rushed to him and called for help immediately. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. I didn't know what to do, but I held his hand tightly and begged him to stay with me. The ambulance came, but it was too late. Peter was gone. In one night, my world fell apart. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My heart broke into pieces. I had lost the person who made me feel safe, the man I built my life with, the father of my children. I wanted to scream, cry, and run away, but I couldn't even move. The next few days were a blur. Family and friends came to visit. Everyone was kind, but their words couldn't reach the pain inside me. Jake and Lily didn't understand what had happened at first. Then came the tears, the long, quiet nights filled with crying and holding my children close. I stayed in bed for many weeks. I didn't want to eat or talk. I felt like I had no strength. My world, once so bright, had turned dark and cold. One day, Lily came to me. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said softly, "Mom, please don't leave us too." Her little voice broke my heart. She was so young, but her words were full of love and fear. In that moment, I realized something important. I still had a reason to live. My children needed me. They had lost their father, and they couldn't lose their mother too. I had to be strong, even if it hurt. I had to stand up, wipe my tears, and be their light in the darkness. That's when I decided, Peter may be gone, but I must carry on, for Jake, for Lily, and for the love Peter left behind. After Peter's death, life became very hard. Every day felt heavy. Every night felt long. I had to keep going, but my heart was broken. I missed his voice, his smile, and the way he made me feel safe. The house felt empty without him. His chair at the table was always there, but he was not. Jake and Lily tried to be strong, but I could see the sadness in their little faces. Sometimes, Jake would sit quietly, holding one of Peter's books. Lily would sleep with one of Peter's old shirts, hugging it close. Watching them broke my heart even more. I began to take care of the business Peter had worked so hard to build. It wasn't easy, but I remembered everything he had taught me. He used to say, "Emma, you need to learn this. One day it will be yours." At the time, I didn't think much about it. I never imagined I'd have to do it alone. But now, I was doing it. For him, for the kids, and for myself. I would wake up early, get the children ready, then go to work. I would return home tired, cook dinner, help with homework, and put the kids to bed. Every night when I finally sat down alone, the silence made me cry. I missed Peter more than I could say. I missed his warmth, his strength, his laugh. It felt like a part of me had died with him. One day, while cleaning the old study room, I opened a drawer I hadn't touched in months. Inside was a small envelope with my name written on it in Peter's handwriting. My hands shook as I picked it up. I sat down and slowly opened it. It was a letter, his last words to me. "Emma," the letter began, "if you're reading this, it means I'm no longer there with you. But I want you to know I am still by your side, in every way that matters." I couldn't hold back my tears. I kept reading. "You are strong, even if you don't feel like it. You've always had a fire inside you, even when life was hard. Don't let this pain take your smile. Don't stop living. Not for me. Live for yourself. Live for our children. And when the world feels dark, remember this. I loved you with all my heart." I held the letter close and cried. But this time, my tears felt different. They were still full of sadness, but also something more. Hope. Peter had given me strength, even after he was gone. His words stayed in my heart. I started putting more care into my days. I smiled more at my children. I let the sunlight in through the windows. I tried to laugh again, even if just a little. Slowly, very slowly, I began to feel something I thought I had lost forever. Life. I would never stop missing Peter. He would always be a part of me. But I knew now that he wanted me to be happy. He wanted me to live, not just survive, but truly live. And I promised myself that I would. I would raise our children with love. I would work hard. I would smile again. I would live fully, just like Peter wanted me to. That letter became my strength. Whenever I felt tired, I would read it again. And each time it reminded me, I am not alone. Peter's love lives on, not just in the letter, but in our children, in our home, and deep inside my heart. 4 years passed after Peter's death. Life had become quiet. I had learned to smile again, but the pain inside never fully left. I focused on my children and the business. Every day was busy. I cooked, worked, cleaned, helped with homework, and tried to be strong. But deep in my heart, there was a lonely space I never talked about. I told myself I would never love again. My heart had already belonged to someone. How could I give it to another? I was not angry or bitter. I was simply afraid. Afraid of love, of change, of the unknown. One day, something different happened. My friend Sarah invited me to join a hobby group. She said, "Emma, you need to do something for yourself. Come with me. It'll be fun." I smiled and agreed. Maybe it was time to try something new. The group met every Saturday to learn embroidery. It was quiet and relaxing. I liked the soft thread in my hands and the peaceful conversations around me. For the first time in years, I felt calm in a new way. Not just busy, but peaceful. That's where I met Alex. Sarah introduced us. "This is my younger brother, Alex," she said. He smiled and said, "Nice to meet you." I noticed his kind eyes and warm voice. He was tall, strong, and had a calm energy, just like Peter once had. But I quickly pushed the thought away. Later, Sarah told me, "Alex is 28. My heart sank a little. He was younger than me, much younger. I thought to myself, he wouldn't be interested in a widow with 2 children. I didn't think about it much after that, but Alex started coming to the group more often. We talked while working on our embroidery. He made me laugh with his gentle jokes. He asked about my life, but not in a pushy way. He listened carefully when I told him about Jake and Lily. One day, he brought coffee for everyone and placed mine gently beside me, saying, "For the hardest working woman I know." I smiled, a little surprised at how good that made me feel. One evening, he invited me out for coffee. I felt nervous. "Just as friends," he said with a smile. I agreed. That night we sat in a quiet little cafe and talked for hours. He told me about his life, his work, his dreams, his family. I told him about Peter, about the kids, and about the pain I carried. He didn't judge. He didn't try to fix anything. He simply said, "It must have been very hard. But you're still here, still standing. That says a lot about you." I didn't know what to say. His words touched something deep inside me. But still, I was afraid. What will people think? I asked myself, what if the children don't like him? What if I'm just chasing a feeling that isn't real? Alex didn't push me. He never rushed me. He waited patiently and showed me kindness every step of the way. He helped me with my work. He played soccer with Jake in the yard and painted pictures with Lily in the living room. One day Jake said, "Mom, Alex is really fun." Lily nodded and added, "Can he come over again tomorrow?" I looked at their smiling faces and felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Maybe, just maybe, this was the beginning of something new, something gentle, something real. For the first time in years, I allowed myself to wonder, could love happen twice? As the months passed, Alex slowly became a bigger part of our lives. He never forced anything. He didn't try to take Peter's place. He just showed up, with kindness, with patience, and with care. He helped me at work when I needed it. He made Jake laugh and taught Lily how to ride her bike. His presence brought peace into our home, like soft sunlight after a long storm. One day, after a quiet dinner, Alex looked at me and said gently, "Emma, I love you. I want to be with you. Not just now, but always. Let's live together." My heart stopped for a moment. I didn't know what to say. I felt frozen between two worlds, my past with Peter and the present with Alex. "I can't forget Peter," I whispered. Tears filled my eyes. "He's still in my heart. Always will be." Alex reached out, held my hand, and said softly, "I'm not asking you to forget him. I know how much you loved him. I just want to be part of your life too. I want to build something with you and with Jake and Lily, together." His words touched me deeply. He wasn't trying to replace Peter. He was offering something new, something different, but just as meaningful. I took some time to think. I read Peter's letter again, the one he wrote before he passed away. "Don't let life take your smile," he had said. "Live fully for yourself and for the kids." I looked at my children. They were growing so fast. Jake was becoming thoughtful like his father. Lily was full of questions and dreams. I knew they missed Peter too, but I also saw how much they enjoyed spending time with Alex. They laughed more. They felt safe around him. And I did too. One afternoon, I sat down with Jake and Lily and told them, "Alex wants to live with us." "How do you feel about that?" Lily's eyes lit up. "That's great, Mom," she said, hugging me. Jake smiled and nodded. "He makes you happy." That was all I needed to hear. We moved into a new house together, a place with more space, more light, and more room for new memories. We decorated it as a family. Jake picked the color for his room. Lily filled the kitchen with her drawings. Alex built shelves for books and toys. And I felt like I was breathing fresh air. For the first time in years, our home was no longer just a place of sadness. It became a place of healing, of laughter, of new beginnings. Alex never tried to change our memories of Peter. Instead, he helped us cherish them. Sometimes we would sit together and share stories about Peter. Alex would listen with respect and even smile at the funny ones. He taught me something very important, that love after loss doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means making space in your heart for new love while still honoring the old. Now, I look at my life and feel thankful. I will always carry Peter in my heart. He gave me love, strength, and two beautiful children. But I also have Alex, who gave me a second chance to feel alive. Life is full of surprises. It can be hard and painful, but it can also be kind and beautiful again. I learned that it's okay to feel joy after sorrow, to find light after darkness. And now, when I wake up and see Alex making breakfast, Jake reading a book, and Lily drawing with crayons, I smile, because I know finally that I am living again. And this time, I'm living with love, with hope, and with a full heart.